Hello everyone, Yaron from EcomXFactor here. After countless requests of students of mine to create a step-by-step guide for creating a dropshipping store using Shopify, I've decided to invest time and create this tutorial for you guys. Please keep in mind that unlike other tutorials, this tutorial not only contains step-by-step guidance, but also crucial tips that every beginner should know. We're going to have 22 simple steps. You don't have to have any technical background, no coding skills are required, everything is going to be very simple. By the end of this video, you're going to have a full functioning Shopify store, which you can get paid already from today, and maybe you'll be able to get to these numbers. Obviously, it takes some time, but guys, I promise you that if you work hard enough, you will be able to get to these numbers. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. This way, anytime we upload new or fresh content, you'll be notified. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is sign up to Shopify. Keep in mind that the first 14 days are free. It's a trial period. So I suggest starting the store only when you're sure you can promote it and you have enough time to upload products and adjust and design. So don't start the trial unless you're ready to kick off. The second thing to keep in mind is Shopify is the best e-commerce platforms for building a store for beginners. If you have more technical background and knowledge, I would suggest thinking about opening a store with WooCommerce, which is a plugin for WordPress. But if you don't have any background, I would suggest starting with Shopify. The reason I say Shopify is the best option because it's easier and more simple. And you see in this video that after 1 hour, 2 hours, you're already going to have a store live. Please keep in mind that Shopify and WooCommerce are the best options for you. Don't even consider anything else. I've tried Wix, I've tried ClickFunnels, and I've tried a few more platforms. None of them are really good, as good as Shopify or WooCommerce. So stick to these both. I'm going to share with you in the description an affiliate link to Shopify. This means that if you're using this link, we are going to earn a bit of money for the fact that we referred you to Shopify. Okay, so the first step will be starting your free trial. You're going to use an email address. I recommend using a new email address that will be dedicated to your store. Enter email, password, and choose your store's name. The next step, Shopify is going to ask you to tell them a bit about yourself. Why you're opening the store, what is your currently monthly revenue. Pretty simple stuff. And now you fill in some details regarding your address, your email, your phone number, etc. That's it. We just launched our first Shopify store. Okay, now for the second step. We're going to install a free Shopify theme. I suggest using either Brooklyn, Venom, Debut, or Minimal. There's really no need to buy a paid theme. Obviously, all the paid themes company are trying to persuade you that the paid themes are going to perform better, but this is incorrect. And another advantage of using a free Shopify theme is the fact that the Shopify support team is really great. And when you're using one of their free themes, they are very helpful. And basically, whenever you need to adjust and make small adjustments, they are going to help you. And even if you need a bigger change or design, you can approach a Shopify expert or an expert from Upwork, and because the free themes are widely used and very popular, it's most likely that the expert will be able to solve the problem for you easily. So a free theme is your best option, and I would suggest starting with Brooklyn actually. Okay, so this is how the back end of your Shopify store is going to look like. You're going to have the homepage, which is this page, the orders, which is going to consist of all the orders that you had. The products tab, which is going to consist of all the products that you have in your store, and you'll be able to add products in the product tab. The analytics tab, which is going to give you data regarding your sales and customer behavior in your store. The customers tab, which is also sharing with you data about your customers. And the marketing discount and discounts are not relevant at the moment, so just take a look at them later. And the apps tab, which is you're going to use in order to add more applications to your store. But the first thing I want us to do now is to choose a new theme. So as I said, we're going to choose the Brooklyn theme. So we are just going to scroll down here, explore free themes. Here we have all the options of the free themes. We're going to choose Brooklyn, the classic version, even though if you prefer the playful, there's not a major difference, but I prefer the classic one. I'm going to add the theme to the library. Wait until the action is verified, and I'll see it as the current theme. Takes a few seconds. And now what I'm going to do is take the Brooklyn theme and publish it. Hit the publish button. That's it. Okay, so the next step now is we're going to choose a store name and we're going to purchase a domain name. For those of you who don't know, the domain name is basically the address, the website address of your store. You can use the Shopify business name generator. This is the generator. I'm going to share the link in the description. So let's say I know I'm going to sell products that are related to toys. So I just enter toys, generate names, and Shopify suggests a few name ideas. Some of them are not so relevant, but some might be a good choice, like trendy toys, galaxy toys. You get the idea. If I wanted to sell something related to coffee, so coffee, so it's going to be Coffee Boom, Sweet Coffee, Bad Boy Coffee. Some ideas are kind of funny, but this is just a suggestion if you don't have any ideas or any inspiration regarding the name of your store. A few suggestions regarding your domain name. So first of all, I would suggest sticking to a .com ending. Unless you know you're going to sell to a specific market, let's say the UK, so you're going to choose a co.uk ending, or if you're selling only to South African to the South African market, so you're going to use a co.za. So if you know you're going to target a specific market, you can choose a domain name that is ending with that specific market in mind. But if you're going to sell internationally, or you're not sure where is your audience going to be, I suggest choosing a .com ending. Regardless, your domain name must be short, and if you're not sure what niche you're going to use, please choose a name that won't restrict you in the future. Choose something general that doesn't look too spammy, no more than 2 words. So we're just going to go now to the domains tab here. We'll hit the buy new domain button, and we're going to look for a domain name. So let's say we're going to call the store name EcomXFactor. Shopify is telling me exactly what are my options. So in this case, the .com is already taken. So let's try something else. EcomXFactor test.com. I'm going to hit the buy button. Now you need to add your credit card details or connect your PayPal account in order for Shopify to bill you for this order of this domain. The next step would be just getting to know the Shopify platform better. I mentioned before what does each tab do, but I would suggest that you take a few minutes, enter each tab and see more or less what's going on. Obviously, some of the tabs are not yet relevant because you don't have any products or sales or customers or app installs, but I want you to familiarize yourself with the back end of the platform. This is basically something that I do in any software that I use. Whenever I just install the software or enter a new platform, I'm just taking a look around and seeing all the features and options and tabs in the software. It's a very good practice, and I suggest you do that anytime, not only in Shopify, but anytime you install a new program or join a new service. Okay, so the next step is basically starting to design our homepage and choosing our store's color. Basically, what I suggest doing is thinking about the values that you want your brand to promote, and think what are the colors that are related to these values. So let's say you want a healthy brand. I mean, you're going to sell products that are related to health, so maybe it's a good idea to choose green colors in your store design. Let's say you're going to sell products that are related to coffee, so maybe you prefer choosing more brown colors. So basically think about the values and what you're going to sell, and choose a few colors based on these decisions. If you're stuck and you're not sure what colors you should choose, you can just look it up online, write down in Google brand color significance, and you'll find many ideas and many content about this topic. Regardless, don't overthink this because you can change it in the future, and I don't think that the brand color, especially in the homepage, is so important as you might think, because anyway in the future you're probably going to drive traffic to specific product page and specific collection pages and not to the homepage. The next step would be creating a logo. You can do this using Canva or using an online logo generator, or using a designer from Fiverr or Upwork. It's pretty easy. Don't over invest in this. Just do it on your own or pay someone $10 maximum just to have a first logo for your store. Worst case scenario, if you don't like it in the future, you can adjust and improve, but don't invest more than $10 in choosing a logo. Now what we want to do is to customize and design our homepage. So we're going to go to the online store, themes, and hit the customize button. Designing the Shopify store is very straightforward. It's very simple. You can go here and choose which page do you want to design. At the moment we'll choose the home page, and here you can just choose each section that you want to design. For example, you can also choose if you want to remove any of the sections. So we removed the slideshow. Now we re-added it back. We can change the location of the slideshow. We can put the newsletter above, etc. And we can also add sections. You just hit the add section button, and then you can choose if you want to add a section for blog post, if you want to add a collection list, if you want to add images with text, slideshows, specific products, a video, basically whatever you want. This is very simple, and it's also pretty fun just to design the store in the way you want. A few things that I want to mention is in the header. This is the header what I suggest doing is putting an announcement. And I don't like putting announcements that are specific for a certain date or a certain holiday, because then if I forget to update them, they become irrelevant. So I just like putting an announcement which is evergreen and is always relevant. A good example would be free shipping on orders above $30. This is one example. And now you can change the bar color. Let's make it red. And you can change the bar, the color of the text. Another option would be 50% off all items. You just play with this. I suggest that you also read all the other options which you can add to the header. I don't think that anything here is crucial, but it's a good thing that you'll get to know what are the options available for you. The next thing we want to do is go to the slideshow, which is this section, and you can add more slides to the slideshow. At the moment we have only 2 slides. We can add another slide, so we'll have 3. And then by clicking here, you can choose which image would you like to add here. You can decide if you want to put it in the middle, in the top left, or whatever. And you can also decide if you want to add text. So let's say EcomXFactor demo store. And here we're going to put, for example, a slogan. And you can choose a button. If you have a button, you can choose I would suggest leaving the shop now. And obviously you can change all the colors of the text and the button label and do whatever you want. If you want to customize the second slide, you can just write it down. Second slide. I'm just showing you an example. Obviously you need to think about it and think what exactly you want to do. Pretty straightforward stuff, nothing too complicated. This is very easy, as I mentioned. What I suggest doing is having a nice few images. Normally people choose images from Shutterstock or Pexels. I'm not sure if I would go with generic photos from Shutterstock, but this is an option. Maybe you can put pictures, high quality pictures of your top selling products. You should test this out. Again, I mentioned this and I'll mention this again a few more times in the video. The homepage isn't so crucial, since if you're going to dropship, or even if you're going to do other methods of e-commerce and you're using Facebook ads, it's most likely that you're going to send your customers to a specific landing page of a specific product, and you're not going to send your customers to the homepage. But I just wanted you guys to get to know the customization section in the Shopify theme section. Okay, now that we have our store logo and initial design, we're going to create some generic pages for our store. What I suggest doing is just going to a few Shopify or WooCommerce stores or competitors or a website that you like, and seeing what are their pages that they have. We must create an About Us page, a Contact Us page, and some policy pages, which means terms and condition pages, privacy policies, etc. Now let's dive deeper and see how to create each one of these pages. Okay, so here we are in the backend dashboard of Shopify Store. We're going to go to the online store, pages, and add page. The first page will be about us, or you can call it our story, which is more relatable. In this case, let's stick to the about us, but this is an option. And now you can write about your brand, what are your values, and basically whatever you want. that the customers can relate to you. And what I would do is maybe go to a few other websites and see what they are doing. You can see here in the Inspire Uplift website, which is a huge dropshipping store, you can see what they wrote. You can look up in other websites as well, and just choose whatever you like and add it to your About Us page. A few things that are very important in my opinion is having your values, having your email, and having an image of your team, Now that you have all the text in your About Us page, you can just save it and it will be added to your store. Okay, the process for the Contact Us page is going to be pretty much similar. You hit the Add page, you write down the title of the page, which is going to be Contact Us, and then I suggest that you write the email of your support team, a phone number if you have any, and the customer support hours. Some of the stores, they only give support during weekdays, some of them give 24/7 support, so just mention when is this customer support hours. And regardless, you can take a look in other websites and see how is their Contact Us page structured, and get inspired and take ideas from those websites. Okay, the next pages we are going to create are the privacy policy page, the refund policy page, and the terms of service policy. The process we'll follow creating these pages is pretty simple. We're going to use Shopify's policy generator in order to create the content of these pages, and then we're going to copy and paste it into our store pages. So this is the Shopify privacy policy template. We're going to hit this button. I'll skip the Shopify trial for now, just create my policy. Then you write down all the details, EcomXFactor, your email address, your city, your website information, and then the generator is going to send you to your email a privacy policy, which is already ready to launch, and all you have to do is copy and paste it into your store privacy policy page. You're going to do this also for the refund policy and also for the terms of service policy. So I have filled up all the details and I received this email. Your privacy policy is ready. Just hit this button, get your privacy policy. Policy generated, as you can see, pretty much generic with all the details I wanted. I'm gonna copy it to clipboard, and then I'm just going to paste it in my privacy policy page here. I really suggest taking a look and verifying that the policy is correct, all the details are correct. But generally speaking, if you filled up all the details in the generator correctly, it's going to be fine. Okay, now we have the policy pages, and the next step is creating an FAQ page. FAQ is frequently asked questions. What I normally do is I have already my ready-made templates which I use, but if you don't have, since it's a new store, I would go to other websites, competitor websites, and see their FAQ sections and see what are the questions that they have that are related to my products that I can write down in my FAQ page. So for example, I have the carbon cocoa FAQ. So one question that I would like to take copy from them is, how soon should I expect my order to arrive? This is probably a question that you should have in your page. And also you can see the ways that they structured the answer. Another question is, how can I get it? So you can write down the relevant way in which your customers are going to receive the product. After you viewed all the FAQ in one website, I would suggest going to another website which is selling similar products to what you are going to sell, and see their FAQ and see that you didn't miss any question. For example, I have the ASUS FAQ section here, which is kind of structured differently. They have structured it by subjects, so any question related to order issues, any question related to payments, any question related to delivery, question related to refunds, etc. This is just a way to structure the FAQ section or the customer care section, just to give you an idea of how this can be done. It's pretty simple. As I said, just copy and paste questions and answers and adjust them to be relevant to your store. The next thing we're going to do is creating product collections, which is basically the categories of the products we're going to sell in our store. This is also pretty straightforward, it's pretty simple. We go to the products, collections, create collection. So let's say we're selling health products, gadgets, and kitchen products. So the title is going to be gadgets. We're going to write the collection type manual, click save, and we have the gadget collections. Next, we're going to create a kitchen items collection. Again, manual, save. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So the next step is we're going to add apps to Shopify. Shopify is, as you understood, is a platform for building e-commerce stores in which they have a lot of apps that are developed by companies that are not related to Shopify, and these apps are supposed to enhance the customer experience and help you as a store owner and just provide solutions and services in order to make Shopify and your life as an e-commerce store owner easier. So there are a lot of apps out there. The majority of the good ones cost money. Nothing good in life is for free. For the beginning, what I would suggest is just installing the Looks app, which is an app for customer reviews, an app for having trust badges in your store, an emailing app, which is I suggest using Klaviyo. It's a bit more expensive, but it's the best email app for Shopify store owners. ManyChat, which is an app for connecting Facebook Messenger with your store, and Reconvert, which is an app for editing the thank you page and offering post-purchase upsells. I'll have links to these apps in the description of the video. Let me just show you how the App Store looks like. So you hit the apps here, and then you hit the visit the Shopify App Store. And then you are redirected to the App Store, and here you have all the apps which you can choose from. So there are Staff Picks apps that are recommended by the Shopify team, apps that are recommended to you, trending apps, and then there are apps that are filtered, sorted out by categories. So top email marketing solutions made by Shopify app, new and noteworthy, apps that are related to orders and shipping, apps that are related to store design, apps that are related to marketing. So let's go to the store design, for example, category. And then as you can see, you have these filters which you can choose from, and you can also sort by most installed, most relevant apps, and newest apps. When I choose an app, I normally take the most relevant app, and I look at the number of reviews. The scale is from 1 to 5. I don't install any apps that have less than 4 stars, and I'm aiming to choose only apps that have 5 stars. I mean 4.7, because 5 is perfect and nothing is perfect, and you want to have as much as reviews as possible. As a rule of thumb, don't take any apps that has less than 4 stars, and any app that has less than like 20 reviews is probably not wasn't tested enough. I wouldn't take any risk and I wouldn't choose that app. So as we can see here, we already have the Looks reviews app, which is very important in my opinion. It's already here standing out. So let's click this, and then we have a short video explaining about the app, the main features of the app, and a full description. You can read the description and read the features and see how the app looks like, and also the pricing of the app. So most apps have like different pricing tiers, and this is normally depends on the number of store visitors or your number of sales or revenue. And based on this data about each app, you can decide if you want to install it or not. Another thing that is highly crucial, obviously, is reading the reviews. I normally like reading the reviews, the 4-star reviews and the 2-star reviews, because all the 1-star reviews might be just haters or competitors. So maybe these reviews are not so relevant or may add customers. And the 5-star reviews can be biased or not so honest. So this is why I like reading also the 4-star reviews and the 2-star reviews, and see that nobody complained about a feature or a bug that might be crucial to your store. Regardless, anyway, most apps have a free trial session of 14 days. So you can just install, see how the app functions, and if you want, you can uninstall the app and you won't be charged. So let's say, for example, we want this app, which is an app that I totally recommend. You can see very high number of reviews and a good score. You just hit the add app, and the app is going to be automatically installed in your store. You hit the install app. And now you're going to have this app. This is the onboarding process of the Looks app. Every app has a different onboarding process in which they explain you how the app works and how you need to integrate the app into your store. Normally it's pretty straightforward. You don't need any coding skills. And here in the app section, now you can see all the installed apps that you have already installed in your store. And you can go and visit the Shopify App Store in order to add more apps. So we already installed the Looks app. Now I want to install for example, the Trust Badges app. So I can write it down here, Trust Badges app. I'm going to look which one has a lot of reviews. So this one looks good, 4.9, a lot of reviews. I'm going to read and see if it does what I want it to do. Read the full description, see some photos of the app, see the pricing, and also take a look at a few of the reviews. Since I know this app, I know it's good, so I'm just going to add it to my store. And so on and so on. You just need to install all the apps that are relevant. At the beginning, I wouldn't go crazy with the apps. One thing to keep in mind that the apps slow down your website, so don't install too many apps. Only install the most essential apps, which I already told you about. And as you go along and develop your store, you'll understand what apps you need to add to your store. Okay, now we have these apps installed. Some of them, as I said, cost money, and if you want, you can wait with this step until you launch the store. I think that these apps are crucial, so I would suggest installing them at the moment or waiting a few days until you start driving traffic to your website and then installing these apps. Okay, the next step we're going to take is create menus for our online store. We are going to create a header menu and a footer menu. So just a quick example of header menu. This is a header menu. As you can see, it contains all the pages and collections of the store. And as we scroll down, this is the footer menu. Basically, it's the menu at the bottom of the page. Let's give you another example, the Inspire Uplift website. So here is the header menu, and this is basically a sub menu which has like items in the categories, and as we scroll down we can see the footer menu. As always, you can look in other websites in order to get ideas and inspiration regarding how they are building, how they are structuring their menus and how they are structuring their stores. So you can see here, for example, something that I don't have in my personal stores, but you can use is also adding some follow us buttons, quick links to specific pages, and also a sub menu that contains information related to customer happiness. I call it customer happiness, which basically means kind of a section that contains data related to orders and the ordering process. So in order to create the menus, we are going to go to the Shopify backend dashboard. We are going to select the navigation button, and we're going to hit the add menu button. So first thing is the header menu. Save menu. Okay, let's add some menu items. So the first menu item is going to be the home page. We are going to link it to the home page. Add. Next, we are going to do products, link products, all products. Next thing, we are going to create a collection page, let's say of the gadgets collection, and we will link it to the collections, gadgets. We will add this, and as you can see here at the moment, we've added a new item to the menu, but if we want, we can stack it up and create it as a sub menu in the products menu. Let's say now I want to add another collection, so I'm going to add kitchen items. Again, link, collections, kitchen items. Now all the collections are going to stack up under the menu of the products. The next thing I would like to do is add the FAQ page. So FAQ pages, FAQ. Another option, next thing I want to do is the privacy policy page, privacy policy, link, pages, privacy policy. Next thing would be the refund policy page. Basically, you can add whatever you want here. Example, so you can add the search bar. You can add collections. You can add pages, products, specific blog posts, etc. Okay, now we have the header menu ready. I would suggest adding also the About Us page and the Contact Us page. We're going to save this. And we're going to navigate to the footer menu. And we're going to create the footer menu now. Okay, also in the footer menu, you can obviously add whatever pages that you want. One thing I would add is obviously the home. Link to the home page. I'm going to add also the Contact Us pages, also the About Us page, the policies pages again, and I would also consider adding the cart page. So you write down cart, and then you just specify a specific link, which is going to be the link of your cart page. Basically, if your website is EcomXFactor, it's basically going to be ecomxfactor.com/cart. So for example, ecomxf.com/cart, and this is going to be the cart page, your cart page. So just change this link, your domain.com and /cart, and this is going to be a button in your footer menu, which is going to redirect your customers to their cart page, which is specific to their own session. So if they already added stuff to their cart, and now when they are going to click this button, they are going to be directed to the cart page. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is we are going to brand our checkout page. So for this we need a logo and to decide about the store's colors, which we already did previously. For creating a logo, you can either create one using a Canva or Paint or whatever designing program that you like, or you can go to a marketplace of services like Fiverr or Upwork and just hire someone to create the logo for you. Don't pay more than $5 or $10 for a logo to be created. It's not that crucial, and there's no need to pay a lot of money just for creating the logo. Please keep in mind that you can also check out different automated logo generator. You just write down in Google automated logo generator, and you'll find a lot of options, and you can go there and create your brand's logo. Pretty easy, and you're going to use it now when you brand your store checkout. Let me show you exactly what we're going to do and how we're doing the branding. Okay, so let me show you a few of our options. First option is going to Fiverr, logo design, and then we have a lot of options. Just hire someone which has a good amount of reviews and a good score, and you can filter by price, because I don't think there's, as I said, you need to pay more than $10 for this. This is the first option. The second option is Googling logo design generator. And then you can just get a lot of different logo design, logo maker, create your own logo. Just choose one of the first options. You can write your company name, the category, and it's going to create a free logo for you. And the third option is going to Canva. You need to log in, and then you just create the logo however you want. It's pretty easy. Regardless, Canva is an amazing free tool for designing stuff, so you should know it. Also for when you're running your store, for doing like design of ads and stuff like that. Okay, so here's a logo I designed quickly in Canva. As you can see, it's pretty easy. It took me less than 1 minute to create this logo. I downloaded it as a PNG file, and now I'm going to go to the Shopify backend and show you exactly how we are going to add this. So we're going to the themes, customize. Next, we are going to go to the checkout. Here we're going to add a logo, upload an image. Hit the select button. Okay, now we have a logo, and the next step would be if we want to choose store colors. So our colors are black, and the buttons, let's say we want them in gold, and arrows we want to leave as red. You can also take a look at the other options available here if you want to further brand your checkout.
change the banner or the background image and the colors, etc., etc. What I think is you obviously need to add a logo and use the colors of your store according to the palette of the store. Then you're going to hit the save button.
Okay, so the next step is we're going to install Oberlo. Oberlo is actually an app that was in the Shopify Store from the beginning days of Shopify, and it was acquired by Shopify a few years ago. Oberlo semi-automates your fulfillment and makes life as a dropshipper or as an e-commerce store owner much easier. It helps you in importing AliExpress products to your store, automating the fulfillment, managing inventory. Basically, it's a very, very powerful app. They also have their own verified pool of suppliers. They have a lot of awesome features. They also have a cool YouTube channel. So I definitely suggest checking out Oberlo. It's highly important to emphasize that at the moment you might not think that automating processes or outsourcing processes is so crucial, because you still don't have a lot of things to do. You're just launching the store and you don't have any orders coming in. But as you develop your store and you start getting more sales and you get to like 200, 300 sales per day, it will be easier to do stuff manually without automating, and you also wouldn't want to do stuff that you don't enjoy. So this is why I suggest you'll also outsource stuff. And Oberlo helps you with automating processes. We're going to install the app, and second we're going to add the Oberlo Chrome extension. Let's dive into this.
Okay, so we're going to install the Oberlo app. You obviously already know the backend of the app in Shopify. Let's go to the App Store. We will look for Oberlo. We're going to install the app, add app. Install the app. And now we have guidance, exactly what do we need to do. So we can follow these steps. It's pretty straightforward, it's very easy, and they also have a very responsive support team. Let's go to the settings. We'll add the store name, so EcomXFactor Demo Store. Then we're going to choose the measurement for product weights. So if we're selling in countries that use kilograms instead of librot or pounds, we just need to change this. I would suggest also clicking this button, then notifying customers about shipped orders, and then you can choose if you want to get updated about different stuff in your store when product is no longer available. So I would choose notify me. When a variant is no longer available, also notify me. Basically, I like being notified about everything and then deciding if it's relevant to me or not. Next step would be going to suppliers. I would make sure that the products are using the e-packet. Write down also e-packet here, the default shipping method. Write down your number, and you can see here a custom note. A lot of beginning dropshippers ask, how will the supplier know that I'm dropshipping, and will he remove the price from the parcel? So when you leave this note, the supplier actually knows that you're dropshipping, and he will know not to put an invoice in the parcel or any self promotions, and also will remove the price, because you don't want your customers to see the original price that you used in order to purchase from AliExpress. Now that we have the Oberlo app installed, we're going to install the Oberlo Chrome extension. We're going to look for it in Google, oberloaliexpress.com importer. we're going to hit, this is the Chrome extension that we want. This is the logo. We're going to hit the add to Chrome, add extension. And now we have the Chrome extension here added, and we can go ahead and start importing products from Oberlo, from AliExpress, using Oberlo to our Shopify store.
So the next thing we are going to do is adding products to our store. This can be done obviously manually, which you don't want to do, or you can do it using Oberlo. You can use Oberlo in order to import products via AliExpress, or use the Oberlo backend using Oberlo verified suppliers in order to import products. Let's see both options now.
So the first option is just going to AliExpress and looking for products. Let's say kitchen, and clicking this button, which will push the product into Oberlo. The other option is using the Oberlo backend. You can go to search products, and here you basically have Oberlo verified suppliers. This is probably going to cost a bit more than the products in AliExpress, but it's not such a big difference, and you know that the suppliers are more trustworthy, and you can just look here for products for your store. Let's say kitchen, and you can filter, look in different categories, and import products, sort products by seller rate, by prices, by order count, however you want. This is great. And let's say we want to import this product, so we're going to hit the add to import list. And now let's also add this one, and we're going to have these products in the import list. Now what we're going to do is we want to make sure that the product doesn't look the way it looked in AliExpress in our store. I'll rephrase. We want to adjust the titles and all the data about the products to look good. So obviously the name in AliExpress or in Oberlo was kind of long and complicated. 4 colors, durable, slide, kitchen, fridge, whatever. So we're going to change the name of the product to something a bit more catchy. Durable kitchen sliders, for example. We can choose if you want to add it to one of the collections that we've created before. We'll add it to the kitchen items. And then we decide if you want to add tags or change type. It's not so relevant at the moment. Next step is we're going to write a description. You can check out our videos about how to improve your product page in order to get an idea of how to write a description. Let's just do something generic. Benefits of the product, quote, features of the product, reviews, FAQ specific for product, social proof, scarcity. These are all elements that you want and need to have in your product page, but I suggest checking out our video that I mentioned before, and we're going also to have in the description of this video. And then you can choose variants, which variants you want to import from AliExpress or from Oberlo, and you can also decide what the price you want to have for the product. So you can assign new pricing, and obviously you can decide which images you want to import. Sometimes the images in AliExpress are not high quality, so it's better if you deselect them and don't import them to your product page. Once we are done with this, we can import to store. The product was imported, and now we'll have it in our store. We can go here, products.
So now that we've imported the product from Oberlo, we're going to edit the product page. So what you want to do here is create a product page that will actually convert your potential customers. I mean, you have to persuade your customers to buy from you.
you're probably going to use a Facebook ad and send customers from the ad directly to this product page. So this product page has to be convincing and has to look good. We've created, as I mentioned, we've created a full video about this. As a few guidelines, you need to write a good headline, write description, which includes the benefits of using the product, the features of the product, FAQ section specific for the product, guarantee, shipping information. You're going to edit the sale price. You're going to add images, videos, reviews, whatever needs to be added in order to persuade your customers that this product is going to solve their problem, or at least improve their quality of well-being. And there you can see the durable kitchen slider. You see the title, you can see the description, you can see the images, you can see the quantities, the sizing, the pricing, and basically you can see all the data that we pushed from Oberlo, and you can also preview the page and see how it looks like at the moment in your front end of the store. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is adding free shipping to our products. Basically, customers prefer free shipping. Customers don't like to be surprised by shipping costs. So if you're selling a product for $20 and then in the checkout process you add $4 to the shipping, it's probably going to increase the abandonment, the cart abandonment rate, and hurt your conversion rates. What I suggest doing is incorporating the shipping cost into the product price. So if you want to sell the product for $20 and the shipping price is $5, just charge $25 for the whole product and label it as a free shipping product. This will probably increase the conversion rates. Okay, so we are going to add shipping zones to our store. So we'll hit the settings button. Under the settings, we go to the shipping. Shopify auto-populates our store with shipping locations. Go to manage rates, and we need to delete them and add our own shipping locations. So delete and delete, and now we'll hit the create shipping zone. I suggest for beginners to only ship products to countries that you know have good shipping times. So it's US, Canada, some countries in Europe, UK, New Zealand, and Australia. But obviously you can also decide you want to ship to the whole world. So you're going to pick the rest of the world, for example, free shipping. And we've added the zone. Now we'll add the rates for this zone. Add conditions. Rate name. Free shipping. Price is 0. And done. So all packages to the rest of the world, is basically worldwide, are going to be for free. If you want to adjust this rate, you can set conditions. For example, only orders above $100 or $1,000 or whatever have a price. It's pretty straightforward. Just play with this. As I said, I suggest starting with free shipping options and choosing and selecting only countries that you know for sure that they have good shipping times, because if you allow shipping to countries from all over the world, the products might not arrive and you might have a lot of disputes opened against you, and you'll have to refund your customers. So don't do this and select the countries beforehand. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is we're going to set up payment methods. Obviously we want to get paid for all the orders, So we want to add different payment methods to our store. Normally we would use PayPal and some sort of a payment gateway for accepting credit card payments. In some countries Shopify payments is available, in other countries Stripe might be available, but in some countries none of these are available, and you should check in the Shopify website what are the supported payment gateways in your specific country. As a rule of thumb, the majority of the stores also have PayPal and also have a credit card payment gateway. Keep in mind that at the beginning it's not necessary to have a payment gateway for credit cards. You can start off with only getting paid from PayPal, but this might hurt your conversion rates because some customers, especially in specific countries, they don't have PayPal or they don't even know what PayPal is, and you might be losing these customers.
Okay, so just before we add the payment providers, we're going to check that we are using the correct currency. So we're going to choose the store currency. As a rule of thumb, I suggest that if you're planning to sell worldwide, you choose US dollars, and if you're targeting only specific markets, you choose the currency related to that market. So for example, if you're going to target only German speaking countries, so I would prefer choosing the store currency to be euros. If you're going to target Australian markets, so Australian dollars, etc. But if you're going to sell internationally, choose US dollars, which is here. You're going to save. Now we're going to go to the payment providers. So you're going to see this Express Checkout. Activate PayPal Express Checkout. Here you need to fill in your email address, then you hit the next button, and then PayPal will tell you that you are verified and that the PayPal is connected as a payment gateway to your website. Another thing you can do is to add other payment gateways, but this is dependent on your countries and what are the supported payment gateway in your country. This is the page in which you can see what are the supported payment gateways in each country. So shopify.com/payment gateways. So for example, let's say I'm currently in Belgium. So Europe, Belgium, and then I can see what are the available payment providers. And then I can just contact each one of them and decide which one is the best option for you.
In order to decide what is the best payment gateway for you, you need to ask them exactly what are the fees involved in each transaction. Is it a flat rate? Is it dependent on the revenue? Different kind of terms, so you need to find out, because maybe in small scale it's not so crucial, but once you start creating a lot of revenue, each percentage makes a huge difference in your profitability. And another thing I would check is how long does it take them to pay you out. Some companies, they hold your money for 14 days, some hold the money for 45 days, and this can be very crucial for your cash flow, because let's say you have a lot of sales and the payment gateway company is holding 20% of your revenue, it might reduce your ability to advertise and grow and develop your business. So to sum this up, find out the fees and the payout fees and how long does it take to be paid out. Basically the best thing to do would be to see if you can connect to Shopify Payments or Stripe, and if you can't, so just go to e-commerce Facebook groups in your country and ask all the people what payment gateways they are using, and normally the majority knows what is the best options.
Okay, next thing we want to do is we want to install the Facebook Pixel and Google Analytics tracking code. The Facebook Pixel is an analytics tool that allows you to measure the effectiveness of your advertising campaigns by understanding the actions that people take on your website. You can use the pixel to make sure your ads are shown to the right people and actually see exactly what are the metrics in your store. I mean, how many money you spend for each purchase, how many money you spend for each add to cart in your store, etc, etc. If you're not sure about different KPIs, I mean key performance indicators or metrics that you should test or follow, I suggest that you download our free ebook. We created a free ebook about all the KPIs every store owner should know. The link is going to be in the description below. Furthermore, regardless of the Facebook Pixel, you also want to have a Google Analytics installed. Google Analytics gives you a lot of powerful insights regarding your store and the behavior of customers in your store.
So there are many instructions online. You can obviously look up in Facebook or in the Shopify help center how exactly to install your pixel in the Shopify store. Basically what you have to do is to create an ad account in your Facebook via your Facebook profile using a Facebook Business Manager. Then you go to the Events Manager, you hit the Add New Data Source button, Facebook Pixel. You give your pixel a name. You enter the website URL. Now Facebook is going to give you a pretty long number which you'll have to paste in your Shopify backend. So you're going to go to the online store, preferences, and then go down here and paste the number. Then you're going to hit the save button and you have a Facebook Pixel installed. The next thing we want to do is add the Google Analytics tracking code. As you can see, Shopify gives you the directions exactly how to set this up. So this is pretty easy and the instructions are pretty clear. At the end of the day, you have to take a chunk of code from your Google Analytics account and paste it here and then hit the save button. So now our next step is actually choosing a payment plan for Shopify. Shopify requires a monthly subscription fee, or you can pay on a yearly basis and then you'll get a discount. I suggest when you just begin that you purchase the monthly subscription. We'll do this by going to the settings, plan and information, compare plans, and then you can choose which plan you'd like. Keep in mind that the basic plan, which I suggest you start with, has the highest transaction fees, so they are going to take 2% of the revenue of each transaction. The next plan, which is called the Shopify plan, has only 1% transaction fees, and the advanced Shopify has only 0.5% transaction fees. This means that you'll have to begin, I suggest that you begin with the basic Shopify, but as soon as you start scaling and you get sales, you have to switch a plan in order to pay less transactional fees. So hit this button. You're going to fill out all the details about your payment method. You can pay by credit card or by PayPal. Add credit card. You write down your details and then you're good to go. Now that we've made a payment to Shopify, all we have to do in order for our store to go live is we have to disable the passport. So customers can actually enter the store, see what you have in the store, and obviously make a payment and purchase stuff. So just hit the disable button.
Okay, great. Now we have everything set up and we are almost ready to launch. I'm going to share with you in the description of the video a link to a checklist file that we've created that you can run through and make sure that you have everything ready to launching your store. The next step at the moment, what I suggest to do is testing a purchase in every payment gateway. So if you've set up a credit card payment gateway and PayPal, I would go ahead and test both payment gateways. What you can do, you take one of the products that you have in your store, you set the price to $1 or $2, something insignificant, and then you try to make a purchase. This is the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is spend at least 5 or 10 minutes in your website in the mobile version. Just send yourself the link of your store, go to your mobile phone and just start navigating in the website, add products to your cart, check the add to cart page, check the contact us page. Just check everything and see that the design of the mobile version of your store looks good. Keep in mind that the majority of your customers are going to be mobile customers, so the mobile version of your website is more important than your desktop version of the website. After you finish with this, what I suggest to do is doing the same thing with your desktop version. Just navigate in your website, check all the pages, see if the design looks good, because you don't want to miss any sales, and everything must look very good in order to create a trust and credibility, so your customers won't think your website is a fraud or a scam. Okay, the next thing that I would suggest doing after checking your store design and verifying that the payment method work is I would suggest asking for feedback about your store. You can do this in two ways. One way is sending the link to your friends or family and telling them this is your store, and ask them what do they think. This is one option, and the other option, which I prefer, is sending the link to the store to your friends or your family, not disclosing that this is your store, and ask them what do they think about the store, and if there's anything that they would like to purchase from that store. This way they are going to give you more objective advice and stuff that you can work with. If they feel that the website is scammy and they tell you, no bro, don't buy from this website, it doesn't look so trustworthy, so you know you have to improve your website. After you finish this phase and people say to you, yeah, the website looks cool, it looks legit, maybe you can send it to your other friends or family, and this time you do disclose that the website is yours and ask them for feedback, advice, and how you can improve the website. But the first step would be sending without disclosing, because this will give you better advice and objective advice. The next thing you would want to do is to create a Facebook page for your store. This is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. Make sure to add about us information, and what I would suggest doing is just going to a few Facebook pages of other stores, see what they have in their Facebook page, and just taking inspiration from them and creating your own Facebook page for your store. Another thing I would suggest doing is to create an email account. Many beginners start with a Gmail account. This doesn't look professional and doesn't create trust between you and the customer. So I know you want to start lean and you don't want to spend a lot of money, but I think having an email account with your store domain is very crucial, so I would suggest doing so. The easiest way to do is buying from G Suite, which is part of Google. You can create an email account with your store domain name. Now what you want to do is, after you set up the page and also look for inspiration in your competitors' pages, what you would like to do is create a few organic posts in your page. So because you don't want customers to get to your Facebook page and see that it has no posts, it doesn't look legit, it doesn't create trust. So add some organic posts, add some quotes, add some images, make your Facebook page look alive. You would also want to get some page likes. So obviously you can send your page to friends, family, ask them to like your store. But an easier way to do is just go to your Facebook ad account and create a campaign for page likes. I will elaborate regarding this in a different video, which we're going to talk about how to run Facebook ads. After you have a sufficient amount of page likes, I suggest having at least 1,000, but you can start with 100 page likes. I think it's enough. You will start running Facebook ads and Google brand campaigns, which we're not going to talk about in this video because it's a whole new subject, which we're going to elaborate about in different videos. Congratulations guys, you've made it, you followed the step-by-step guide, and now your store is supposed to be live. If you had any technical problems or questions, you can just look up in Google for answers or ask the Shopify team. The support is very responsive. Obviously, if you don't have any answers, you can join our Facebook group or check for answers in our YouTube channel. Your next step is to keep on evolving, keep on learning, check out YouTube videos, join Facebook communities, ask questions, and keep on improving your marketing skills. Please keep in mind that dropshipping isn't easy money. If it was easy, everybody would have made it. We are offering a lot of free content and advice in our Facebook groups and in our YouTube channel. And if you want to step up your game and are willing to invest in your self-education and in your future, you can also check out our different pricing plans for the Pro members, in which we offer a one-on-one personal guidance in launching your store, thinking about your strategy, and also revisioning your copywriting, targeting, Facebook ads, Google. Basically, it's a service that we've created and we give to many beginning dropshippers and advanced dropshippers, in which we escort them and give them second opinion and advice on how to launch, grow, and scale their stores. That's it for today, guys. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our Facebook groups. I wish you lots of luck and see you in the next video.